Hello YouTube, fellow mystery hunters. We are here at the art gallery and I want to make a quick little recap about this place. I was researching this place around 8 months ago and a clue I found led me back to all of this. Alright you guys, many of you guys was focusing on these, alright, but I was not paying that much of the attention that everybody was paying out to this. Alright, my main focus was all this gibberish, which you might think it's not a clue, but it definitely has something to do here. Okay, in those videos I explain, like as you can see out in the back, the vertical lines and that like swirlish thing in the center, and then the one out here with the horizontal lines and that swirlish thing right there. If you take a look at the mini map on your bottom left, that's the rotation of the mini map. Okay you guys, so I found a association with this right here on the mini map, and it led me to where the maze bank is. Around here we have the maze bank, we have Bahamas Mamas here, we have the maze bank here, and we have a billboard here. We have something written here near the arrow, and I think it's wingman. I think it's called wingman. And somewhere around here on the freeway we have something written on the wall. Okay, so one of my other focuses was this 1944 and trying to figure out what this was. So I was one day around the airport and I stumbled across one of those 1944 billboards, the support for the billboards, and that's when I started taking interest in the billboards. So here we are now at that location, okay, and I found out that it is really close to that yellow art thing, and this place right here, it is the only place on the mini map where it is the most resembling place of it all. Okay you guys, so we around here, right here with the wingman, right behind the wingman, we have a writing on the wall. Okay, and this is the same writing where you can find when you're doing the Epsilon missions, like you meet up with Marnie here writing something on the wall. It is the same one that is found up here in this alleyway, but I never found out where the third cross was, and as I keep looking I stumbled across this. I'm the original founder of this. Like if you go to my onion theory videos, it was like around 8 months ago or so, and then that is when I started taking notice in this swirl right here, which looks like the golden ratio, okay, and I found this out, so I made a video about it in my onion theories and people started claiming it. I don't know how. Possibly somebody else found it around the same time I did, but none of the dates compared to the time I found it back then. Alright, so one day I was down somewhere around here and looking around, and I was listening to the heartbeat, trying to figure out where it was coming for, and this is when I stumbled upon the 1944 billboard. Right you guys, then I came to this where I can clearly now see what it was hidden right behind that 1944 back at the art gallery. As you can see, like from afar it looks like a dog, then it says 10 onion, and then what interests me the most was the cross. Right, so that's when I started looking around and taking notice into the billboards, and I found that monsters fighting thing with the UFO over there back at the maze bank. Alright, so one day I was looking around as any normal mystery hunter would, alright, and I caught something out of the dumpsters, but not at this location. I was looking around up here in the abandoned railroad cabin, not abandoned but railroad cabin, because the blueprint map highlights something here, but I didn't find nothing significant other than a bin just like this one right here. Okay, and these bins are like, these are the only bins that have this like writings on them. Like for example, the 10 onion is the same thing we can find on the 1944 billboard supports. Okay, this bin has something else, but I will get back to that because I found something that led me onto that when I was researching in Sandy Shores for the I Ching and all of that. Okay, so if we go here online in the internet and we put yoga, it's gonna bring you up to Fabian's page. Alright, so you click on that, and one of the things I found interesting was this, the grain of truth. So one of the catchy things, this is also in the radio, like when during commercials or something, join the organic elite at the grain of truth and shop for superiority, right? So join the organic elite, that's what really catch me. And the grain of truth and the Freegans, which sounds like Freemasons, are in conflict because these people are like trash divers. Like they eat whatever food is left on the garbage bins, and then the homeless are complaining about it because it's basically the Freegans are stealing the homeless food. Okay, so I did some investigation around with Michael, which I think it was wrong. I think with the right character we should investigate this is with Trevor, because Trevor gets mistaken for a homeless man when he's kidnapping Aldi Napoli in one of the Strangers and Freaks missions, when you go through the hospital chasing Aldi Napoli, and then on the news what it says is the last thing people saw was Aldi Napoli being put in the trunk by a homeless man. Alright, so these people are like in conflict with the grain of truth or something, but I always believed in my onion theory videos it would have to do something with trash, and I got a piece of video where Trevor is eating out of the dumpster, and then there's one of these dumpsters right next to it. Okay, so I'm gonna point several things out, but first I gotta show you another one that really interests me. So I went through a little bit of trouble here trying to smash this thing off the wall. Okay, I just wrecked my truck, then the gang started coming at me and whatnot. So as I was looking like for clues in the trash and the dumpsters and recycling centers, because there is a lot of pointing in the game to recycling. Even in Potent Rage, like when you watch that show, he gets enraged because a hobo is not recycling, and then he shoots a paper clipper to the guy and blows off the trash. So is that pointing out to something? I tried to dial this number, like I couldn't get nothing out of it. I noticed the 666 here. That's when I started like seeing this like more often, and I said, well, the golden, like in the back of my head, always the golden ratio was like ringing, and I'm like, what the golden ratio has to do with something? And then that's when I started explaining that swirl may be according to most of the numbers that are being found across the map, that it could point out to that, and that's how we can narrow it down to whatever it is we must find, or exactly where the trigger is at. So then I noticed the 10 onion here. Okay, and then that's when I saw the sanitation department, which the only place that can be found is up here in Fort Zancudo. Dead end. So another thing is that those 10 onion, it can also be found on rail guards, so I'm gonna show you that as well. So here in La Puerta Freeway, alright, you can see this one right here, 10 onion again. And then, okay, like, why would this be all across, like in the dumpsters, in the rail guards, in the billboards? Here we have scepter again, okay? Like, for example, I think the one in front is not the same, like it. Okay, so here we have a different one. It's in the front now, and it don't say scepter. So is that leading to something that is pointing to a route we must take or something? I really did a lot of research on that, and I didn't came across nothing. So looking onto those garbage bins, like with the 10 onion and all of that, and figuring out what it could lead me to, it led me here towards Zancudo, dead end. Well, not likely. There's some hints about something here, which things I'm gonna point out. I came back here with Franklin. I brought Chop because it is sign right over here. I looked all over, there's nothing there. All right, you guys. And another thing I found strange was that in Trevor's hand, I recently found out that the bolt is also here at Fort Zancudo, which I couldn't find no translation for this. I tried translating this myself. I had no results at all. But the bolt on Trevor's hand is awkwardly similar to the bolt in Fort Zancudo as well, tying back to the bolts in the Mount Chiliad mural. So this is the A1 hangar. I came in director mode to save me the trouble being chased 4 stars and the war, the ongoing war. Okay, this is the same bin I found back in right behind the Children of the Mountain. Okay, with the 10 onion. I have one of these big bins here. I mean, these bins are like across the whole map and everything, but certain things that caught my attention was that number one, only the blue bins have this 10 onions and this writings on them, and including the scepter, like some of the rail guards, but only the billboards have the 10 onion. So it just like keeps adding up. So I want to point out something else I found here, very interesting. Okay, so I found more of these 10 onion bins over here. So it's really weird, okay, you guys? Like, there's something going on here, and one of the things I've noticed is you have the number 5 special projects. Okay, I think so. Special projects number 5, remember that. Okay, we have Fortunate Ones 1979, which is a direct tie with the song Fortunate Son. All right, World War II stuff. All right, you guys. Let me see this one. I think Protect and something. The other interesting. Okay, here we have it. Ghost Squadron, no questions asked. Right. The other interesting one is this one over here. 4th SYFM. I don't know what that stands for, right? But the pyramid being here, like, okay, the names, caloric and all of that. I'm doing research here because I came back, like, I first like looked around in the surface, I couldn't find nothing. So this is actual research I'm doing as well, because I keep getting leads up to Fort Zancudo. We aim to kill 9th Squadron Special Operations. Alright, so now remember the special projects badge here. Okay, this is really important. Now I'm going to point out why I think this is really important. Number 5, special projects. Okay, let's have a look at the big hangar. Okay, so here we are at the hangar, and this hangar, it's an entire mystery of its own. We have the star, okay, with the red circle, It kind of looks like the burger shots symbol if you compare those. Okay, Ford Zancudo base 0101. When you go ahead, and I'm like, wait a minute, this looks like binary. Okay, when you go ahead and put in a binary translator, binary to decimal, you get number 5. Whatever is in the game, our prize is in this hangar. And one of the other examples is that when you're online, this hangar is open. And why on story mode is it closed? It has a binary code that it turns up that the from binary to decimal, number 5 comes up. And and we have soldiers around here with the badge special projects and a number 5. I like, whatever it is, guys, our prize isn't here. Now what we must do, we all know that in the blueprint map, when we shine that black light, it says take control. But take control of what? I've been here, I've been on the tower, I've been here with 3 characters. I think there's a step we must do first, then that would lead us to here. Maybe photographing something of interest. I've tried photographing the freaking the cargo bob. I try to photograph people. I went around the back and photographed people in the hangars, okay, where they doing lifts, like in the military installation around the back, okay, and like I haven't gotten nothing. It must be something really, like, I don't know, it's gotta be something dumb. And there's so much that, okay, that maybe global protection. It kind of looks like the government facility with that hanging knot. From the government facility, alright? Starkey, what you doing here, man? Okay, like, defend with honor. What is that? That is a weird patch. Clark. Now there's another one that I managed to see, and okay, this was the same one. It's called, the guy's name is Solaris, and he has like a star and a triangle. I will try to capture that. Alright, now I want to point out, what did I stumble across in the trash bins. This is another strange thing I found here in Fort Zancudo, this tattoo. Like, I always like looking into tattoos, they hint to stuff. I already found a tattoo with a 1% on them. Alright, and this guy right back here, like the bird, is kind of like an Indian, alright, and it looks just kind of like Trevor. I don't know about you guys, but like, it looks like Trevor to me. I don't know, but the hat with the bird hat, okay, kind of looking like an Indian. Then the bird with a snake on his mouth, or worm, right? Talons beacon onto the cactus down below. The faces from Art and Act, okay. The skull here, we all know Trevor in the mission wears a skull. We're gonna do a FIB heist to hit the Group 6 security team. Another skull with the fiery skull, sword or dagger piercing a heart. Alright, more fire tribals, but this one right here, like, what the hell is that? That is really weird. I never seen that on nobody. Like, I know tattoos, places of importance, tattoos point to something. Just gotta figure out the meaning, what they're trying to say with all of this. Okay, so that was really weird, right? Like Trevor eating out of the dumpster and the dumpster right next to him being the dumpster with the word scepter, which is something that monarchs use and people of importance, alright? Like Lester's house right here, you can see onion ring, and then we got 10 onion on the trash bins, alright? And then we have the same 10 onion on the rail guards with the word scepter written along them. We have the 10 onion in the billboards with the highest concentration down in the LSL airport. Okay, that is when I really took an interest into billboards. But okay, now my link to the word scepter in the trash is this guy right here. For most of you that don't know who this guy is right here, this is nevertheless than Odin. Now here is where it's a little twisted. Odin is known as Woden, but Odin and Woden are almost the same kind of. Woden was a god king and he had like special abilities and all of this stuff. Odin had to do with a lot of stuff, sorcery, philosophy. Like when you wiki this, like it's like wow, okay, this guy is just like whoa. But the most interesting part is that if you don't look at Odin as Odin and you look at Odin as Woden, Woden was a god king that had an 8-legged horse, and it is said that when he came riding on that 8-legged horse, it was associated with wind and thunder as well came behind his back. Now, the link to the word scepter, which is what monarchs and kings and people of importance held, like Queen Elizabeth from the present day, the United Kingdom, you guys, her lineage can be traced back to the god king Woden. What does this have to do with anything? This is where I'm scratching my head right now. Like all of this mythology and all of this stuff and on the trash, what does this pointing to? What is it leading to? This is where I'm in a standstill, so I'm doing close research on this. I just found out that Odin is the father of Thor, okay, and Odin have Valkyries, which are the 12 maidens of Odin that are in charge to who die in battle. Like there is so much in the mythology of all of these people that it's just like mind-boggling. I cannot absorb everything and all of it because it's just like page after page. If you look at Odin alone, it's just like overwhelming, all right? And there's a lot of Greek stuff out there, like for example the Pegasus, all right, you guys. I mean, what did Rockstar did going so far back into ancient history and putting all of this mythology on GTA? Because there is a book in the tattoo shop called Creatures of Myth, alright you guys? So this is what interests me the most. And further on, I wanna share my hunting beliefs with you guys, like why I research this kind of stuff, why I think this is really important, because there is like this parody to Zelda, all right you guys, that you can find this at a coffee bean, and it says perk up, and there's like a big coffee bean, and it looks like kind of a Link, all right, like Zelda, and a bunch of books stacked up right alongside him. So this is why I took a big interest in the books of the tattoo shops, okay? So you guys, there is something really going on There's something going on with all of this mythology, and I hope that this gets clarified sooner or later, and this whole mystery just comes to an end, and we figure out what we have to do and what is our prize, which I believe is on that Fort Zancudo hanger, right, you guys? As always, keep on hunting. There is something big out there.